Hello and welcome to Angela's Busy Bees Garden and Homestead. Guys, today the temperature was 73 degrees, and so I made this my official planting day of my brassicas. And as you can see, my tulips have started coming up. And in this bed, I've planted my broccoli seedlings. In this bed over here, I've planted my Brussels sprouts. And of course, I planted garlic earlier in the cells of the cinder blocks. But in garden bed number 3, I have my Brussels sprouts, and I went on and I put my bamboo stakes in because as it starts to grow, I will be tying it to this stake so that it can grow up because it tends to get a little heavy. Also, I have more tulips over here. And these are some mustard greens that are coming back from last year. More tulips there in the back. As you can see, my carrots have started coming up. I've also done a little weeding, and this pot right here is just full of weeds that I will be transferring to my compost pile. Also, guys, in bed number 5 here, I planted my cabbage, and in the cells of the cinder blocks, I've planted kale in every other cinder block. And some of them have tulips in it, some of them have daylilies, and the ones that are empty, I'm probably going to be adding some marigolds. So that's bed number 5. Bed number 6, I have kale in the cells of the cinder blocks. And in the rest of the bed, I have Swiss chard. And some of the Swiss chard had gotten pretty big, and some were quite small, but they have been hardened off. So I went on anyway and added them to the garden bed. And I have some more Swiss chard that are going through the process of being hardened off, and they're going to go in this section right here. On the other side of bed 5, I have some red Russian kale and more regular curly kale in the cinder blocks. And this is bed number 7. I have more kale in the cells of the cinder blocks. And these are my Georgia collards, as you can see here. Tomorrow, we are expecting another day with temperatures in the 70s. And guys, I think I'm going to go on and plant my potatoes. But this is what I did today, being Saturday, March 25th of 2023. I have my brassicas in the ground. So far, I have my kale, cabbage, Swiss chard, collards, Brussels sprouts, and broccoli. And I forgot to mention my very first tulip came up today. Would you look at that? So today was a very productive day for me. I am looking forward to being able to come into the garden tomorrow to plant my potatoes. And I have the red potatoes, and I also have the, what are they called? The white potatoes, the Norcata white potatoes, and then I have the red russet potatoes. I haven't decided what I'm going to plant yet in these tiered planters, Last year I planted strawberries in them, and because my garden is facing east, it gets a lot of sun and they just dried out and look like they've all died. So I'm thinking about maybe planting some kale or some additional Swiss chard because I still have a lot of transplants left in the greenhouse, and some are inside under the shop lights that I have not hardened off just yet. So still more seedlings to be planted, and what I don't use I will sell at the farmers market. But today has been a very productive day. I hope all of you who also experienced warm weather today was able to get in the garden and get some things accomplished. So this is one thing today that I can check off my to-do list. Thank you so much for joining me. God bless. Bye-bye.